doing tonight over here at Facebook Live. I'm live on YouTube Live. I spoke with Twitter today. We'll hear what's going to go on over there. So Frankie Russo, we're moving. How you all doing today? It's been a few days, last week. So I've been doing a lot of thinking. I've been looking at some data. So I want to make a claim, but I'm not going to make it yet. I want to put some more data in the cycle before we, because we're going to make a serious claim that we believe that the Obama-Clinton crime family. Before we do that, I just want to say the claim we're going to make. We're going to put more data in the news cycle, and then we're going to make a claim that we believe, in all likelihood, no probability, and we're going to be beyond statistical significance. We're going to be creeping toward incontrovertible truth that the Obama-Clinton crime family, that's Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton, materially supported Ansar al-Sharia and the horrific hit in Benghazi, the Benghazi mission. Based on the data that we've been looking at. I've been looking at this data for quite a number of days. And I'm going to set the room up tonight because I'm not going to stay on too long. And then I'm going to bring in more data. And then I think we're going to be close to say that the Obama-Clinton crime family, Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton, materially supported with money, weapons, training, and human assets to the Benghazi mission. And that's why the server, the Hillary Clinton server, there's rumors in the news cycle that Hillary Clinton's server had a lot of Benghazi data on there, right? Obama claiming he knew nothing about the server. That was a lie. It came out at 60 Minutes, right? He received 18 emails from the Hillary Clinton illegal, according to the Inspector General report, illegal and unapproved server outside the purview of the .gov network in the basement of her house, running her own intelligence agency, was Hillary Rodham Clinton, the Secretary of State, which was basically, the Obama-Clinton crime family was basically quite frankly, it was a co-presidency, right? So my brother Lawrence in YouTube Live wants to talk about the Yankees, and I do too. We're going to talk about them in a few seconds. I'm just saying so I'm going to set the room up tonight. We're going to just do a nice overview on some of the things I last spoke, because it's been a few days. So I'm going to set the room up, and then over the next few days, we're going to hit with more data, and I think we're going to be able to claim that the Obama-Clinton crime family, that's Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton, materially supported Ansar al-Sharia. Ansar al-Sharia, it was a cookie cutout terrorist group created by the Islamic Republic of Iran, right? They had the Muhammad Jamal Network, Muslim Brotherhood operatives, and some Al-Qaeda foreign fighters, like Bin Kumul, who was a Gitmo detainee, that go all the way back to the Afghan Taliban versus the Soviet Union. So the Obama-Clinton crime family materially supported, 10 years after the horrific hit on the World Trade Center, September 11, 2001, Al-Qaeda foreign fighters that go all the way back to the Afghan Taliban versus the Soviet Union in the 90s. This is crazy stuff, right? But with the data that we've been putting together, we believe that we're going to be able to say this. So that's what I'm starting tonight off with. Before we get there, my brother Lawrence from YouTube Live, the Yankees, we're doing great, right? I'm going to do a quick hit on the Yankees, and then we're going to go to our great president, Donald John Trump, for hashtag Trump 2020 landslide. Our president, Our great president is going to win Reagan-esque numbers, quite frankly. Reagan-esque numbers we're looking at here. 350 plus electoral votes, electoral college votes. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so first of all, Yankees doing great, right? We got a whole month now to get more healthier. If that's good English, more healthier, right? And we're gonna have some lineup. We'll have our lineup. They'll be tweaking the lineup, and I'm hoping the Booney Rothschild field management gets the bullpen right, because that's how we're gonna win the whole enchilada, right? We got the Savages in the box. We got the great Yankee defense, which is unheralded. It is nobody talks about it. Unheralded. Nobody talks about it. I think that's the right word, right? Because everybody sees the Yankee bats. Crazy, right? We're going to get healthier, our Yankee defense, and we're going to get the Savages on the mound. Particularly, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have confidence in Tanaka, confidence in Paxton, confidence. Paxton's looking nicer, but Paxton's going back. He's got to go back to the old Paxton, right? Four seamer, up, down, in and out, and then drop the yacker on him, right? Absolutely. Tanaka does the Domingo Homán, but Domingo Homán is starting to get more assertive with his stuff, more confidence in his 95, and stop doing the 30% to 35% sliders and 35% fastballs and change-ups. And no, you can't cooch around over here. When you get on the bump in the Bronx, you got to bring the 95 with a purpose to the spot. You got to throw it to the spot. And then you drop the deuce on them, you drop the yackers on them, and you got them all off balance. But you first got to establish the fastball command, up, down, in, and out. On the plate, off the plate, up, high strike, down. I mean, it's all about fastball command in my world, right? All this other stuff, hey, nobody's more numbers orientated. Nobody's more analytical than Russo. But quite frankly, you got to get a little old school. We do old school and new school. That's how we do this here. Okay. So that's why my take. Yankees are coming. We're going all the way. I'm just telling you. Everybody sees Verlander just threw a no-no. Everybody sees Cole. Everybody sees the Tampa Bay with Glasnow and Blake Snell. Everybody sees Tampa Bay. Everybody sees Cleveland with their pitching. The Yankees are coming. Yankees are going to win this thing with bullpen and the Savages in the box. We're winning this thing this year. The Yankees are winning. And with the Giants, I'm going to talk about the Giants next week because the season's, the end of the week. Tomorrow, that's what I'm saying. The season starts the 9th. So we're going to talk about the Giants Friday. Today's Wednesday, Friday. And then the next month. Knicks are making the playoffs, everybody. Okay, good. So I did my sports take. We're going to do more as we move forward. Now I want to get back to now I did a little drill down, just a little bit. I got my board going. So we got my little board. It's a little one. I got the big board, the little board. Okay. So here we go. Absolutely, Lawrence, we're moving. So we got the Al Qaeda Support Network. So I'm just going to go over stuff that we've already talked about. In the UK, remember that the UK, and here's America and UK, right? Remember in the UK, right? We talked about the fraudsters that basically frauded the UK taxpayers for 8 to 10 billion, and apparently from that 8 to 10 billion, about 100 million went to the Al Qaeda support network inside of England, right? And we talked about them: Abu Hamza al-Mashri. We got Abu Yahya al-Libi. Abu Yahya al-Libi was an MI6 informant. Abu Hazma al-Mashri was a MI5. MI5, if I'm not mistaken, those are the two main branches of the UK, England's intelligence agencies. MI5 and MI6. United States. Illegal immigration, benefits fraud. Apparently, it's paying for that the 8 to 10 billion fraudsters that were frauding the UK taxpayers, right? 100 million went to the Al Qaeda support network, Osama bin Laden. They're saying over 20 years. So the first question we're posing is: Did these fraudsters pay any money go to the 9/11 hit, horrific hit on the Twin Towers, September 11, 2001, right? In America, we have an illegal immigration problem. We have benefits fraud, mortgage fraud, right? And also mortgage fraud in UK. Mortgage fraud, we had 2008, right? They had Abu Hazma al-Mashri and Abu Yahya al-Libi. One worked for the MI5 and one worked for the MI6, the intelligence hubs of the UK. Anwar al-Awlaki was a FBI informant. Muhammad Atta, right? Muslim Brotherhood. Anwar al-Awlaki is Al Qaeda as well. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind of the 9/11 hit. His nephew, Ramzi Youssef, was the major perpetrator of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. And then we had the Abu Hamza building a jihadi training camp in Blair, Oregon, not far away from the New Mexico jihadi training camp, which was put forth by Siraj Wahhaj's son, the 1993 World Trade Center bomber, unindicted co-conspirator. The Blind Sheikh's, one of the very close associate to the Blind Sheikh, Omar Abdel Rahman. Then from the, so far, right? And then we have the San Diego, Phoenix, San Antonio terror cells, the 9/11 hijackers terror cells, right? And then that's in America, unfortunately. And also another FBI informant was Abdul Sattar Sheikh. He was the facilitator on the San Diego terror cell with Anwar al-Awlaki and Muhammad Atta, right? So there's an FBI informant there. We got MI5 and MI6 informants in UK. Then we got the Benghazi attack, which was basically Muslim Brotherhood Iran with Mustafa Jalal, Abdel Hakim Belhaj, because that was a gun running operation where they had, when they took out Gaddafi, we're looking at 20,000 Soviet manpads on the streets in North African Middle Eastern region. And the Obama Clinton crime family provided 400 FIM-92s through Qatar, right? Through Qatar, which is, it's Qatar is torn, right? Qatar's with, parts of Qatar is with Saudi, parts of Qatar is with the Islamic Republic of Iran, the world's largest state sponsor of terror. In addition, there was this diplomat, because remember we talked about the Kelly Moore article where the radical Islamists were infiltrating this country through immigration fraud. We spoke about that, right? Immigration fraud. The Blind Sheikh, Ramzi Youssef, Abu Walima, Mohammed Salah. Then we had it went from that regard, then it went to diplomats. So Kelly Moore spoke of infiltration through diplomatic visas. And we talked about Mohammed Morsi. He ended up becoming the prime minister of Egypt, right? We spoke of Mohammed Javad Zarif, the point negotiator for Iran, right? He was at one time the Iranian ambassador to the UN. He was head of this 650 Fifth Avenue building. We spoke about this, right? Where he was, the Weekly Standard couldn't believe that Mohammed Javad Zarif was not implicated in the 650 Fifth Avenue building, money laundering for terror to the Islamic Republic of Iran's weapons of mass destruction. And the building, they lost possession of the building because originally it was owned by the Shah of Iran, 650 Fifth Avenue, smack dab in the middle of Manhattan. $500 million to $1 billion asset the Iranians had. So this Mohammed Zarif, he never got implicated. He was educated in America. He's an American-trained diplomat, as was Mohammed Morsi. He died recently. And then we had Mohammed Ahmed Youssef, who was a Sudanese diplomat, infiltrated our country through a diplomatic visa. And the Sudanese mission on the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, they all got sent back to Sudan. Now, they were here plotting to blow up more buildings and kill Americans. In addition, we got this Turkish General Council diplomat who was the last to be seen with Ambassador Christopher Stevens in Libya, right? In addition, in America, we have the Hezbollah stockpile on the U.S.-Mexican border, big time. And how did we know this? U.S. versus Jamal Youssef case. So the Hezbollah, who has a big presence on the U.S.-Mexican border, has a weapons stockpile. So as you see, we are beginning to show this whole thing, because you got the Pan-Islamic Summit, which brings in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. It brings in the Omar Bashir, Hassan al-Tarabi, Ayman al-Zawahiri, and Osama bin Laden. With Hezbollah, so this is where this is the hub of, this is where the Iranian Global Terror Network started in the 90s. So you got Al-Qaeda in UK with Abu Hamza al-Mashri and Abu Yahya al-Libi, who ended up becoming a MI6, and both of them, MI5 and MI6 informants, working for the intelligence agencies in UK, as Anwar al-Awlaki, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, Abdul Sattar Sheikh, and Mohammed Ahmed Youssef, the Sudanese mission, right? Well, so much, well, we know Abdul Sattar Sheikh and Anwar al-Awlaki were working for, Anwar al-Awlaki, he came and went to Yemen and back. His father worked for the former ambassador of Yemen, Ali Abdul Salah, who got assassinated recently within the last 5 years by the Houthi rebels backed by Iran. Iran's not a good group, let me tell you right now, right? So what we're seeing here is a network inside of America, Al-Qaeda support network, and an Al-Qaeda support network out in UK. Absolutely, Lawrence. We did our Yankee update. So what we got here is this is the stuff that we started from the last time I was on the air. I'm going to add more to this. This is going to be nuts, because we got 20,000 U.S. manpower. So Obama gave weapons, right? And I have an article here which I thought, it's an open source article, just to show you. Here's the fraudsters sent funds from. This is one of the, I showed you these articles. I showed you this one. Oh, by the way, I got my disclaimer. Outside looking in, no U.S. Congressional Oversight Committee, no International Atomic Energy Agency, no Joint Chiefs of Staff, no National Security Council, no access to classified docs, nor do I know anyone has access to classified docs. Court papers, judges' decisions, peer-reviewed journal articles, and well-sourced, well-researched open source articles. What we're searching for, it's a quasi-model, quote-unquote statistical significance, and all likelihood or probability. Look for trends, differences, and patterns in the data, and then we look for what did I say? Statistical significance, all likelihood or probability. Look for trends, differences, and patterns in the data, and then we attempt to conceivably reach reasonable, responsible conclusions. And by the way, we believe our conclusions are close. Classified information is the mean. We're within the standard deviation of the mean. The Russo disclaimer. So we got a disclaimer out there just to show you. This is on Investigative Project. I showed you this information already, right? Now, this guy, Mustafa Kamal Mustafa, that's Abu Hamza al-Mashri. That's why they're very hard to, these radicalisms are very hard to keep track of, because they have like 50 aliases, right? And apparently, Hasma was sentenced to a lifetime prison sentence. He's serving in Colorado. Mustafa is appealing his conviction. Court papers filed. The Supreme Court state that militants called Hasma 4 days prior to the 9/11 warning. They claiming conceivably he spoke to the 9/11 hijackers 4 days prior to the 9/11 warning. Something very big will happen very soon. The filings also said that Hamza acted as an agent for MI5 special branch under the code name Damon Berry. This is Abu Hamza al-Mashri, right? 9/11, he's conceivably. There's stuff on the source, maybe. And this is to show you, this photo shows you how, now these are NATO, and here's a radicalismist, Mustafa Jalal. This is Sarkozy, I think the president, prime minister of France. This is the president, prime minister of England. It's crazy. They whacked the general. They're taking pictures with this radicalismist, Mustafa Jalal, the former minister of defense under the Gaddafi regime, part of the Transnational Council, the new government of Libya. Mohammed Jabril, this is who this is. Crazy. His number 2 guy was Abdelhakim Belhaj, the military commander. Goes all the way back to the Afghan Taliban versus the Soviet Union. These are Al-Qaeda foreign fighters that go back to the 90s. Taking pictures. You got prime ministers of NATO countries taking pictures with these radical Islamists. It's crazy. Now, I'm just showing you stuff I've already had on the air. I just bringing everything up to speed because I'm drilling down on this big time. We're going for the Obama-Clinton crime family, materially supported with money, weapons, and training and human assets. The Ansar al-Sharia, the Islamic Republic of Iran backed Sunni militias, Sunni terrorist group that put the horrific hit on Benghazi. Okay, that's what we're going for over here, and we think we're going to get there. British Asian gang members linked to Abu Hamza, right? We talk about Abu Hamza. This is the fraudster. Gang stole billions from UK taxpayers, infiltrated government, Muslim Brotherhood, funded Al Qaeda, right? We talked about this, right? And we got immigration, illegal immigration in UK, United States, benefits fraud, UK, United States, mortgage fraud, UK, 2008, United States. So this is very similar. Some similarities here, very, very similar, right? So here's the Abu Hamza. This is the investigative project for terrorism. U.S. District Courts, Southern District of New York, United States of America versus Abu Hamza Mashri. He attempted to build a jihadi training camp in Blair, Oregon, as well, all the way from the UK. As he was involved, apparently, according to published reports, he was also claiming responsibility for the U.S. coal because he had an Islamist army in the Gulf of Aden, which is where the USS Cole was hit. And that was the precursor to September 11, 2001. Terrific hit. And I showed you these. I showed you this is Abu Yahya al-Libi. This is the radical Islamist that was whacked in June of 2012. And they were claiming this is the narrative that the Obama-Clinton crime family was purporting. This is the guy that's an MI6 informant for the UK. You believe it? Yeah. And here's Claire Lopez. Okay, so in 95, things were becoming hot for the jihadis in Sudan, while bin Laden and al-Zawahiri of al-Qaeda returned to Afghanistan about this time. Others, such as Abu Yahya al-Libi, were offered a safe haven by the British. She's a 35-year CIA operative, Claire Lopez. In return for political asylum in UK, MI6 recruited Abu Yahya al-Libi's support for a failed 1996 plot to assassinate Gaddafi. In all, Abu Yahya al-Libi lived in Manchester from 95 to 2000. In the I think 2010 to 2011, 2012, 2013, wasn't there the Manchester bombing? That's when they came back after they whacked Gaddafi. The Libyan Islamic fighting group inside of England blew up buildings. I guess they hung out with Hezbollah over in Libya. According to Telegraph, Iran steals surface-to-air missiles from the United States. These are the kind of things that really concerned us over here at the Frankie Russo show. According to Coughlin, right? This is the Telegraph, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not saying this is incontrovertible true, but this is what he was purporting. This was in the open source. This is what he was writing. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have stolen dozens of sophisticated Russian-made surface-to-air missiles from Libya. That's the Gaddafi stockpile. Gaddafi hoarded 20,000 U.S. Soviet manpads. The Obama-Clinton crime family, through Qatar, gave 400 U.S. Stingers, 400 U.S. manpads to the Mustafa Jalal Abdel Hakim Belhaj, Al-Qaeda. That's what Claire Lopez was so upset about. When in her article she wrote, and I read it on the air, Libya, the case of material support by the Obama-Clinton crime family. So this is what, I mean, was this a payoff by the, So Iran steals surface-to-air missiles from Libya. Was this a payoff by the Obama Clinton crime family to Iran? Right? They gave them 1.7 billion in cash. Here's the weapons right here. Oh, stockpiles were leaving. U.S. stingers were leaving. They went to Lebanon. Nobody found them. Who's in Lebanon? Hezbollah. Right? They went to Syria and then went to Turkey. Right? I'm just saying. The weapons were seized by units attached to the Guards Elite Quds Force. That's the special forces of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, which traveled to Libya from their base in southern Sudan. Very plausible. Acting on orders received from Revolutionary Guard commanders in Iran, they took advantage of the chaos that engulfed Libya following the collapse of the Gaddafi regime to seize significant quantities of advanced weaponry, according to intelligence officers in Libya. They say the weapons stolen by Iran included sophisticated Russian-made SA-24 missiles that were sold to Libya in 2004. Gaddafi hoarded these missiles. The missile can shot down aircraft flying at 11,000 feet. These are the U.S. These are the manpads, the Soviet-made manpads, and is regarded as the Russian equivalent to the American Stinger missiles that were used by U.S.-backed Mujahideen to defeat Soviet forces in Afghanistan in the 80s. It is similar to the weapon used by Al-Qaeda in the failed attempt to shoot down an Israeli passenger jet taking off from Kenya's airport in 2002. So, crazy stuff, right? This is the reason why we're looking at this stuff. Now, here's the Claire Lopez article. The Kelly Moore article, the latest on the Manchester bombing. Oh, yeah. So here's something that's, with all this going on, right? Accused Benghazi ringleader is in court in Washington within the last, I think it was in 17, as terrorism trial opens, the Benghazi case. This is Abu Khatala. Abu Khatala, right? This is all the Fugazi stuff going on, right? Abu Khatala was the last guy to be with, according to published reports, the last guy to be with General Yunus, the Gaddafi general who was being bribed, according to WikiLeaks, by France. So they were bribing. NATO was bribing this Gaddafi general to defect to the Libyan rebels and conceivably to control what was going on in Libya, but they whacked them, right? And the last guy to see this general was Abu Khatala. So why am I not shocked? The Obama Clinton crime family, right, with John Brennan, Leon Panetta, James Clapper, James Comey, right, Michael Morrell, right? According to published reports, John Brennan and Leon Panetta were watching the Benghazi debacle from the White House. He was monitoring it because he said Hezbollah are moderates, as he was stationed in '96 in Riyadh as a CIA intelligence officer, and not far away from his post was the Khobar Towers attack in Bahrain. Not far from Riyadh, the capital. Riyadh, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Riyadh is the capital of Saudi. Right off the Persian Gulf is Bahrain, the Khobar Towers attack, where they blew up the complex over there. And the FBI did a 5-year investigation with Louis Freeh from the FBI. 250 agents. It was Iran Hezbollah by this General Sharifi. Where? From Damascus, the Iranian embassy in Damascus, Syria. They performed and implemented and orchestrated the horrific hit on the Khobar Towers. Here's another crazy one. WikiLeaks comes out with Omar al-Bashir recently couped. Omar al-Bashir's got $9 billion in UK banks. Obama lifted sanctions on him. This was the Darfur, the George Clooney, that other lefty loon job, claiming that, we got to do something about Omar al-Bashir, the dictator, and he supported Obama, and Obama lifted the sanctions off of al-Bashir before he left. Al-Bashir was the guy in Sudan with Hassan al-Tarabi and Osama bin Laden, Ayman al-Zawahiri, Omar Abdel-Rahman, Noman Benoitman from the Qalam. This is like unbelievable. Abdel Hakim Balhaj from Libya, Noman Benoitman from the Qalam group that's in England, that's doing what Mohammed al-Abari did with the Countering Violent Extremism Symposiums during the Obama-Clinton crime family, purging FBI documents, purging FBI presentations, purging DHS servers of individuals with ties to designated foreign terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda, like Muslim Brotherhood, right? Philip Haney, co-founder of the DHS department, a $55 billion department during the Obama-Clinton crime family, claiming that Mohammed al-Abari, Muslim Brotherhood operatives, Al-Qaeda supporters, Al-Qaeda sympathizers were issuing execution orders to purge FBI documents, and according to purge FBI presentations and DHS service for individuals' names that would. So according to Philip Haney, the co-founder of the DHS Department of Homeland Security, if the intelligence offices inside of America had that data, we could have stopped San Bernardino. We could have stopped the Orlando pub shooting. We could have stopped the Boston Marathon bombers and other terrorist attacks during the Obama-Clinton crime family. But because those documents were purged, this is what happens. We got to keep our president elected over here. Hashtag Trump 2020 landslide. He has to stay in power. We need Trump still. We need Trump for 8 years, 12 years. Absolutely. Omar al-Bashir. Obama lifted sanctions on this guy. This guy was couped. This guy, well, he was couped recently. He couped in '89 with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Hassan al-Tarabi. And then they had the Pan-Islamic Summit, the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, Sudanese nationals roaming the tri-state area looking for buildings to blow up and kill Americans in the name of Allah. True. Oh, look at this. New York court case rattled Turkey's president, right? This is another. This is the Reza Zarrab case. Reza Zarrab, the guy that money laundered through Turkish banks to the money, millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars to the Islamic Republic of Iran, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, through Turkish banks as they bribed millions of dollars with the Erdogan family, son, grandson, wife, millions of dollars. He's holding this guy. Reza copped a deal with the federales, right? Well, this Reza Zarrab was holding the money, was holding that Babak Zanjani, the Iranian billionaire. That was, not only is he the owner of the first Islamic investment bank in Malaysia, that's where the Quds Force has bank accounts, conceivably, we're close to getting that data. The first Islamic investment bank in Malaysia is where we believe, we're beginning to put it together, and we believe that's where the Quds Force took the money, the 8 to 10 million that Kenneth Timmon was claiming that transferred from Mohammed Jodaki to Khalil Harab in, I think, Ankara, Istanbul, Turkey, to fund Ansar al-Sharia. Right? Yeah. And that same guy, Babak Zanjani, according to published reports, Reuters reports this, selling, to get around Western sanctions on the oil, selling 22 million, 23 million barrels of oil in Malaysia, Port Labuan. So he had a great relationship with Ahmadinejad, but he has a touch and go with Hassan Rouhani, because Hassan Rouhani is trying to stay in power. So he has to take a hard line with this guy, because if the people weren't acting up inside of Iran and looking to threaten to overthrow the regime over there, the mullahs, he'd be a lot more with the Ayatollah Khomeini. But because he's trying to maintain power publicly anyway, he has to take a hard line on this guy. Because the one thing the mullahs don't want to happen, they don't want to get thrown out. They don't want to lose control of the country. And that's what the people are threatening, as they tried to do in 2009 with Ahmadinejad. So that's where we are. That's the setup. I'm going to come in tomorrow with more stuff. Tomorrow's Thursday and Friday, and then we'll go Sunday. I'm going to do it. I'm coming in. So that's where we're looking at right now. So we got the board. We got the small board. So we got Hezbollah stockpile in America, the U.S.-Mexican border. We got the Benghazi attack with the 20,000 Soviet manpads and 400 U.S. Stingers. Then we got the radical Islamists, Abu Hazma al-Masri. This is how they roll, right? This is how a lot of the governments roll, right? The radical Islamists hit, and then they send in the diplomats, the Muslim Brotherhood operatives, the educated radical Islamists, the stealthy radical Islamists. They infiltrate the governments like they did in England, they did in America, and then they try to take over. Truth be told. So you got the likes of Abu Hamza al-Masri, MI5 informant, Abu Yahya al-Libi, the Al-Qaeda foreign fighter going back to the Soviet Union versus the Afghan Taliban, MI6 informant. Then you got Anwar al-Awlaki, Muhammad Atta, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Then you got Abdul Sadar Sheikh. These are FBI informants with Anwar al-Awlaki. Then you got the diplomats that were posing as diplomats, really stealth jihad radical Islamists, like Mohammed Ahmed Youssef and the Sudanese mission, the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. Then you got the Turkish General Council diplomat that was the last to be seen and apparently knew a lot what was going on with the U.S. Ambassador Stevens of Libya. And then you got Muslim Brotherhood, Iran, Mustafa Jalal, Abdullah Hakim Belhaj, part of that Benghazi attack. And then you got the Pan-Islamic Summit, Osama bin Laden, Omar Bashir, the Sudanese dictator that couped the South Sudan with Ayman al-Zawahiri. These are all Al-Qaeda foreign fighters going back to the 90s till today. And you got immigration, illegal immigration in America, fraud. You got immigration fraud in America, immigration fraud in UK, benefits fraud in UK, benefits fraud in UK, funding terror, right? You got mortgage fraud in UK, mortgage fraud in America. So this is where we are, the Obama-Clinton crime family. So this is the beginning. We are going to claim, as we move forward with this thing, that the Obama-Clinton crime family, that's Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton, it was a co-presidency. They materially supported with money, weapons, training, and human assets the Libyan radical Islamist group Ansar al-Sharia, a Sunni terrorist group put together by none other than the Iran Hezbollah Quds Force, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force Hezbollah terror cell inside of Benghazi. And we know the vectors from Ajabaya, which is directly below Benghazi, 90 degrees up, you're in Benghazi. According to Kenneth Tillerman, that was a logistical and technological pipeline to Benghazi, to the Islamic Republic of Iran, Hezbollah Quds Force terror cell, which put together with the money got by Mohammed Jodaki and Khalal Harab in the bank accounts in Malaysia, we believe, in the first Islamic investment bank in Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur, right? In addition, 45 degrees northeast vector going into Derna. That's where many of the human assets came. The Al Qaeda foreign fighters in Libya, the Al Qaeda foreign fighters, bin Kumu, Abu Qatala, Abu Yahya al-Libi, came in, but he was whacked already. He was whacked in June of 12. But all of the Al Qaeda foreign fighters, many of them came from Derna. So it's right there, right off Benghazi. Then you had the Iranian terror cells also in Misrata, Libya, which is right next to Tripoli. And then about almost 270 degrees down, almost a direct vector, 270 degrees down from the northern part of Libya to the southern part of Libya, with the town of Gia. That's where the majority of the Gaddafi regime hoarded the 20,000 Soviet manpads. And apparently, many published reports, Iran got some, the Taliban got some, which is basically materially supported by Iran, much of it. So we believe we're gonna creep toward this. The Obama-Clinton crime family materially supported the Sunni cutout, the Sunni terrorist group. They put it all together, Ansar al-Sharia, so there would be a zero footprint going back to the Islamic Republic of Iran. Bought, paid for, materially supported with money, weapons, training, human assets. Morsi, when he was in power, even sent Muslim Brotherhood operatives, Mohammed Jamal, to put the hit on Benghazi that killed the Americans over there. It was a gun running operation. They were running 20,000 Soviet manpads were running roughshod through the North African, Middle Eastern region with 400 U.S. Stingers, according to published reports, getting into the hands of the radical Islamists. So the Obama-Clinton crime family used money. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? God bless you. Thank you for the visit. God bless you, Lawrence, from YouTube Live. Weapons, right? Training, right? And human assets. So Turkey was involved. Qatar was involved. Special Forces of Qatar. They provided the 400 U.S. Stingers. The ouster of Gaddafi was a zero footprint, according to the Obama-Clinton crime family. Hillary Rodham Clinton claimed big time credit on the whacking of Gaddafi. Meanwhile, the 200 Soviet manpads that were being sent all over the North African, Middle Eastern region was because of their horrific policies in Libya. The Obama-Clinton crime family policies in Libya, which basically they gave the Al Qaeda foreign fighters that go back to the Afghan Taliban versus Soviet Union, 11 years removed from September 11, 2001, where we lost upwards of 5,000 Americans. Innocent Americans getting killed on this Al Qaeda hit on America, with the Al Qaeda support network inside America, as is an Al Qaeda support network inside of England, which went to Libya. Noman Ben Oitman, Noman Ben Oitman, Abu Yahya al-Libi. I got three. Noman Ben Oitman. He's now running Qalam Foundation. He goes all the way back to the Afghan Taliban versus Soviet Union, Pan Islamic Summit. He's a reformed radical Islamist. You got to be kidding me, right? It's a joke. Him. Then you got Abdelhakim Belhaj, which is the military commander of the Benghazi hit, right? Of the Libyan interim government, the transnational government that took over, and Mohammed Jabril, as my understanding, took over for a while. I don't know if he's still in power, but I know at what point he took it over. He officially took it over. That's Mustafa Jalal. And they were running these guns, these Soviet Stingers and these U.S. Stingers, these U.S. manpads, these Soviet manpads, throughout the North African, Middle Eastern region. And apparently the Islamic Republic of Iran got their hands on some, right? Because we know of 3 shipments. Then you got this other guy, Abdel Basit Haran, that came from Libya. He was part of the gun running operation out of Libya. Guns were sent to, manpads were sent to Lebanon. They don't know what happened to the shipment. It disappeared. Hezbollah got a hold of it. That's Iran. Turkey, Hezbollah, maybe Iran got some stuff in Turkey too, because Iran's in Turkey, right? Because Iran's got very close ties to Muslim Brotherhood operatives. They work, they're to some extent with Erdogan, right? I point to the Kirkuk oil pipeline. What happened over there when Barzani, the Kurds, voted for independence? Erdogan teamed up with the Khomeini and Hadi, the prime minister of Iraq, and they forced Barzani to resign, and it took back the Kirkuk oil pipeline, which is a $7 billion asset. So this is what's going on. So all the way from England, Libya, and then we got this guy Abu Hamza al-Mashri, who's serving a lifetime prison sentence for terrorist activities, building a jihadi training camp in Blair, Oregon, right not far from the New Mexico jihadi training camp with Sharaj Wahaj's son, the 1993 World Trade Center bomber, unindicted co-conspirator. And then we got Abu Hamza al-Mashri. This radicalism is that's serving a lifetime prison sentence in Colorado, right? In Colorado. I think he was an MI5 informant in UK. MI6 informant was Abu Yahya al-Libi, the Afghan Taliban foreign fighter, goes back to the Afghan Taliban versus Soviet Union, the Al-Qaeda foreign fighter. Crazy. All involved in this one big circle jerk, quite frankly, right? From England, Libya, Sudan, across the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Aden. Well, the Gulf of Aden is near Yemen, so we're in Sudan, so we're going towards, right? So it's different, right? The Gulf of Aden is near Yemen, and I think Ethiopia. So that's where the USS Cole happened. That was the precursor to 9/11. Abu Hamza al-Mashri claims responsibility for that as well. And he had the Blair, Oregon training camp, the Hezbollah stockpile in this U.S.-Mexican border with Anwar al-Awlaki, Muhammad Atta. Anwar al-Awlaki was a Yemen. He was born in America, but his parents was born to 2 Yemen nationals. He lived in Yemen for a while. I've been trying to find out his ties to Abu Hamza al-Mashri, because he has strong ties to Yemen. He has strong ties to Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Does Anwar al-Awlaki. Matter of fact, he was whacked. This is America's Osama bin Laden. He was whacked in 2011 by a drone in Yemen. He's one of the co-founders of that Inspire magazine that the Boston Marathon bombers downloaded off the internet to build their bombs. As the governor of New York, Cuomo, claims that the pipe bomb bomber, the subway pipe bomb bomber, was a lone wolf because he downloaded stuff off the internet. That's the take on these local politicians, with de Blasio giving away illegal aliens, undocumented individuals, driver's licenses, state IDs, municipal IDs, while we had the 9/11 hijackers had 60 plus state IDs and driver's licenses. Go figure. These are the politicians that are in power right now, giving away, looking to destroy this great nation, and everybody's up in arms. And we got the greatest president on the planet fighting for this country, fighting for the sovereignty of this nation, is our great president, Donald John Trump. But have no fear, God is there. And President Trump will get reelected. And may, It may, they're going to attack. President Trump's going to win. It's going to be a landslide. President Trump is going to win. It's going to be a landslide. Hashtag Trump 2020 landslide. We're going to get him. So I'm getting out of here. It's almost an hour. So that's where we are. Wow, it's got to be what, after 12, I think. I hope not, but I think it is. So that's where we are. I'll be on the air tomorrow. And tomorrow's Thursday, Friday. Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be on for an hour, but I'm going to be on the air with some new information on what we put together from the last show. 12:14. Thank you, Dan. God bless you. Thank you for the visit, Dan. Thank you for the visit, Jonathan. Thank you for the visit, Lawrence, at YouTube Live. God bless you. God bless you all. Right? Thank you for the visit. God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. I thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for providing me with the freedom so I can do what I love to do. And that's one of the things I love to do is broadcast. Thank you so much. God bless you, the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. God bless the greatest country on the planet. I love my country. God bless America. And let me tell you, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. God bless. And the Blessed Virgin Mary. Amen. I'm a big Marian, Jesus Marian. Absolutely. I'm a big man of the rosary. Absolutely. Big. And God bless our great president, Donald John Trump. Donald John Trump. I'm so proud of our president. I'm so proud because remember, we elected not a priest, we elected a warrior. And that's what he is, man. He's the best. God bless our great president, Donald John Trump. This is Frankie Russo. I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm going to be on the air. I'm coming on the air. It's not going to be long, but I'm going to pop some with the grace of, and we're going to creep closer and closer toward incontrovertible truth that the Obama-Clinton crime family, Barack Hussein Obama, stealth jihad radical Islamist, Hillary Rodham Clinton, another stealth jihad radical Islamist, materially supported with money, weapons, training, and human assets, Ansar al-Sharia, a Sunni cutout, a Sunni terrorist organization that was fronted by the Islamic Republic of Iran, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force, Hezbollah terror cell. How apropos. As Obama had all these excuses about, we gotta put a halt on Project Cassandra because the drug enforcement agents were getting too close to the illicit drug trafficking of Hezbollah, the Shiite terrorism arm of Iran, as we had to shut down the Obama-Clinton crime family, had to shut down the Counterproliferation Initiative. That was a management team. This is Myers, I think is Josh Myers or Seth Myers from Politico. He stands by his investigative reporting that this Counterproliferation Initiative, which was a DOJ management team, they were surveilling as the Project Cassandra, the DEA agents were globally surveilling the activities of the illicit drug trafficking of Hezbollah. This Counterproliferation Initiative were global surveilling individuals, foreign actors, foreign countries, in any way, shape, or form, surveilling them if they were aiding and abetting the ambitious, the nuclear proliferation ambitions of the Islamic Republic of Iran. So this counterproliferation initiative was very much down the road with trying to coax and prim and prop up, get these these individuals and entities and business entities in some friendly jurisdictions so they can actually press charges, criminal charges in aiding and abetting the world's largest state sponsor of terror to proliferate the Islamic Republic of Iran. And they had cases up the wazoo. And guess what the Obama Clinton crime family did? Under the guise of their fake Iranian nuke deal, they got them to drop the charges on any Iranian national, Iranian American national, anybody affiliated with Iran. Their charges got dropped because of that fake Iranian nuke deal, which did not include Iran's long-term ballistic missile program inside the Iranian nuke deal, because the DIA report under Lieutenant General Michael Flynn at the time claimed it was highly confident that North Korea had miniaturized nuclear warheads for its long-term ballistic missile program. Yes, they went so far as to state that this is old news, that it goes back to 2006 and Obama sat on its hands as Rocket Man was launching nuclear tests, and they were sending, because North Korea knows missiles, right? Was sending missile and rocket components from Sunan International Airport to Vladivostok Airport in over the Russian border to a Russian airliner. So it went from Aeroflot to Aeroflot, the largest commercial airliner in the Russian Federation. So they smuggled missile and rocket components from North Korea, Sunan International Airport, Aeroflot, over the Russian border into the Vladivostok Airport in Russia. These are commercial airliners now. Transferred the missile and rocket components to the Russian Federation airline, the largest Russian airliner in the Russian Federation, Aeroflot, right? So this was a commercial airliner. They put the missile and rocket components on these airliners. This Russian airliner company called Aeroflot, the largest commercial airliner company in the Russian Federation, flying it over Chinese airspace, into the capital of Iran, Tehran. That's where they assembled the missile and rockets and sent it to the borders of Israel, Syria. China's building, well, North Korea is building military bases underground in Syria. So China's providing weapons to Hezbollah. China's involved. So, I mean, this is beyond belief, right? I'm just saying. So it's Frankie. I'm out of here. I got into another. This is Frankie Russo, and I'll see. I got to go. It's late. This is Frankie Russo, and I'll see you in the future. I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm going to come on briefly. Frankie Russo, and I'll see you in the future. I'll see you all on YouTube Live. Frankie Russo, and I'll see you in the future.